Nobody noticed the day he stopped talking. No dramatic goodbye. No angry message. No explanation. He just became quiet. And strangely, that was the day his life began to change. Because sometimes, the loudest move you can make is silence. He wasn't special. No talent people admired. No money. No powerful connections. Just dreams. Big ones. The kind people secretly laugh at when you leave the room. And he did what most dreamers do. He talked. He talked about the business he would build. The body he would transform. The life he would create. The success that was coming soon. People smiled. Nodded. Encouraged him. But something strange was happening. Nothing in his real life was changing. Only his words were growing. One night, after another long conversation about a future that didn't exist yet, he went home feeling empty. Not sad. Not angry. Just hollow. Because deep down, he felt the truth most people try to ignore. Talking about the dream was slowly replacing working for the dream. And the applause he got for just speaking was stealing the hunger he needed to actually do. That night, he asked himself a dangerous question. What if silence is the missing piece? The next morning, something small changed. When someone asked, "What are you planning next?" he didn't explain. He just smiled and said, "You'll see." At first, it felt uncomfortable. Like holding your breath underwater. Like not defending yourself in an argument. Like resisting the urge to prove you're not a failure. But silence started giving him something noise never did. Focus. Because silence does something strange to the mind. When nobody is clapping, you discover if you truly believe in yourself. When nobody is watching, you find out how disciplined you really are. When nobody expects anything, you finally become free to build something real. Silence removes the performance and leaves only the truth. Days passed. Then weeks. Then months. People stopped asking about his dreams. Some assumed he quit. Others forgot he even had goals. A few quietly decided he wasn't serious anyway. And for the first time, their opinions didn't control his energy. Because he was busy. Not talking. Not posting. Not announcing. Just working. Quietly. Daily. Imperfectly. Relentlessly. But silence isn't peaceful in the beginning. It's loud inside your head. Doubts scream. Fear whispers. Old habits beg for attention. There were nights he wanted to post progress, just to feel seen. Moments he wanted to explain himself, just to feel understood. But every time he almost spoke, he remembered a simple truth. Seeds grow in darkness, not in the spotlight. So he kept going. Unseen. Unknown. Uncelebrated. Then one day, something small happened. Something nobody would call success. But to him, it meant everything. Because for the first time, reality moved in the same direction as his dream. And that's when he realized silence wasn't hiding him. It was protecting the process. That small win, no one noticed, was the first proof that silence was working. It wasn't success yet. No money. No applause. No dramatic transformation. Just progress. Tiny. Slow. Almost invisible. But this time, it was real. And reality, even when it's small, feels different from dreams you only talk about. For the first time in years, he slept without replaying imaginary futures in his head. Because something quiet and dangerous had finally begun. Momentum. Outside his room, nothing had changed. People still lived their normal lives. Still talked loudly about plans. Still announced goals they would forget next week. And when his name appeared in old conversations, it was usually followed by, "Didn't he have big dreams once? I guess life hit him." Some people just disappear. They thought silence meant failure. They didn't know silence was construction. But here's the truth. Nobody talks about in motivation videos. The hardest moment isn't when you're lost. It's when things start to work, slowly. Because progress creates a new kind of fear. What if I lose this? What if I'm still not enough? What if they were right, and this is temporary? Growth is quiet. But doubt is loud. And many people quit. Right here. Not at failure, but at almost. One evening, after months of silent work, he met someone from his past. Someone who remembered the loud version of him. The one who talked endlessly about the future. They asked the same old question. "So, what are you doing these days?" For a second, the old habit returned. Explain. Impress. Prove. Defend. All the words rushed to his throat. Then stopped. He smiled gently and said, "Still working. Nothing more. No details. No numbers. No speeches." And something powerful happened. In that tiny moment. For the first time, he didn't need their validation to feel real. Time kept moving. Quiet mornings. Long nights. Boring routines. No one would film. Until one day, the results were no longer small. Not magic. Not sudden. But undeniable. The kind of change people call overnight success. Even though it took years. No one watched. Doors opened. Money appeared. Opportunities multiplied. And the same people who once said nothing started saying everything. "How did you do it? Why didn't you tell us? We always believed in you." He listened politely. Because now he understood something most people never learn. When you are nobody, silence protects you. When you become somebody, silence protects your peace. That night, sitting alone in a life he once only imagined, he realized a truth so simple it almost hurts. Nothing changed. The day success arrived, the real change happened. The day he stopped needing noise. Because success isn't the money, or the praise, or the proof.
Action!
Success is this: being able to work in silence, without losing faith in yourself. Somewhere right now, there's someone talking about the life they want. Explaining,
Ok, lẹ.
announcing, promising. And somewhere else, there's someone quiet. No posts. No speeches. No attention. Just slow, invisible work. No one will clap for. Until it's too late. To ignore. Years from now, only one of them will live the life they described. And it won't be the loud one. So if the world feels silent around your dream, maybe that's not loneliness. Maybe that's protection. Work quietly. Grow privately. And let success make the noise. Dreams die in noise. But they grow in silence.